Hytale released their World Generation version 2 blog this morning and it looks amazing. But the more you read into the blog post, the more it becomes clear that this isn't really about visuals at all. This blog is about the fundamental shift in how Hytale builds its world, who controls them, how they communicate with players, and why this system is being built to last far beyond early access. So let's break down what World Gen version 2 actually is, why it exists along version 1, and why this might be one of the most important technical blogs Hytale has ever released. First, we need context, because Hytale currently has two world generators. World Gen version 1 was developed between 2016 and 2020. It worked well as a prototype and allowed the team to build out exploration content, but over time it started hitting hard limits, especially when it came to expanding zones and creating more complex biomes. World Gen version 2 has been in development since 2021, specifically to remove those barriers. It's designed to be the long-term foundation for Hytale going forward. That's why early access will launch with exploration mode running on version 1, because it already has content ready, while version 2 is being used to build Orbis, the next generation world that will eventually replace it. And when version 2 is ready, version 1 won't suddenly disappear. Old worlds will still exist. They just won't keep generating new chunks. What's interesting is that players won't have to wait until Orbis fully launches to experience version 2. During early access, fragments of Orbis will be accessible through gateways inside exploration mode. That means players can already start seeing and feeling how the new generator behaves, even while the world is still under construction. Eventually, Orbis will enter pre-release testing, and once it's complete, it becomes the primary world you play in. This is a smart transition strategy. It avoids splitting the player base while still letting the new tech mature in public. This is where the blog becomes genuinely important. Hytale describes both his world generation as both curative and procedural, meaning the world is algorithmically generated, but the designers still have a strong control over what appears and why. World Gen version 2 pushes this much further. Designers can now control resource distribution, guide players toward meaningful content, and communicate information through the environment itself, without relying on UI markers or tooltips. This is world generation being used as game design and not just decoration. And that philosophy is baked right into the new systems. One of the best examples of this is the pattern scanning system. Instead of just placing props randomly, the generator can scan the environment for specific conditions, like solid ground, empty space below, nearby terrain features, and make decisions based on that context. For example, ash trees in the deep root biome can only spawn above caves. That's not just visual flavor, it's a heuristic. Over time, players can learn that seeing those trees means there's something valuable underground. The world teaches you how it works naturally. Bridges can form by detecting two riverbanks. Mushrooms can spawn only in sheltered areas. Flowers can appear in natural dips surrounded by trees. None of this is random. It's designed randomness, and that's a huge difference. World Gen version 2 isn't just built for Orbis, it's built for modders. The new APIs allow World Gen mods to integrate directly into the same node-based system used by the base game. They are automatically multi-threaded, have full access to world context, and can interact cleanly with both vanilla and other modded features. That means modders won't be fighting the engine or reinventing the wheel. Mods can extend Orbis, remix it, or create entirely new worlds using the same foundation. That's the kind of system that supports longevity, not just launch content. Another huge shift here is accessibility. With version 2, creators don't need to know how to code to modify world generation. Everything can be edited through the visual node editor. Changes live reload in-game, meaning creators can iterate extremely quickly. Biomes can control terrain shape, materials, transitions, prop placement, and points of interest, all through configurable logic nodes. Biomes are treated like tiles. Zones are treated like patchwork. That modular structure makes adding new content or entirely new worlds far more manageable than traditional procedural systems. And importantly, every Orbis biome will be shared with the community. You'll be able to open them, study them, modify them, and build on top of them using the same tools the developers use. The blog also shows off a number of experimental terrain packs. Things like floating islands, arches, underwater cave complexes, and alien ring worlds. These are not premises. They are proof of flexibility. Not every idea will ship, but they demonstrate how far the system can stretch without breaking. That's important context, especially during early access, when expectations need to stay grounded. Hytale is very clear that this system is still evolving. Features will be upgraded, replaced, or deprecated, but with an emphasis on supporting creators instead of breaking their work. Short-term goals include performance improvements and better modularity. Long-term goals includes procedural rivers and paths, procedural architecture, organically growing fauna, waterfalls, and more. And community feedback is explicitly a part of that roadmap. Simon's note at the end of the blog is probably the most telling part. Hytale is planning to introduce a new role, World Designer, and hire directly from the community. That's a big deal. It signals a shift away from world generation being controlled almost exclusively by programmers, toward a system where artists and designers shape the experience directly. The goal is a world that feels handcrafted, but remains infinitely procedural, with gameplay always coming first. Orbis isn't the end, it's the beginning. So yes, World Gen version 2 absolutely changes how Hytale's worlds are built, not just visually, but philosophically. It changes how the game teaches the player, how creators contribute, and how the world evolves over time. I'm really curious what part of this system excites you the most, the heuristics, the modding potential, or the creator tools. Let me know in the comments and we'll keep digging into this as early access continues. If you enjoyed this video, take a jump over here and take a look at what I enjoyed about the 7-minute PvP video that Hytale showcased. I'm Caden. Thanks for watching.